Hey, I'm Evan.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to USS Sea Stories.
The broken and falling, damned old souls been sent to burn. Nowadays they've been calling, telling me soon gonna be my turn. Head down.
Record.
All right, welcome back to part 3 to the USS Sea Stories with my boy Spence, man. So we went through the journey again about through his life, our time on the boat, him making chief and everything. So I kind of want to get into, since you've been in 24 years, you've handled a lot of stuff, you've done a lot of stuff. Was there any type of mishaps or any like closing calls? Close calls. I mean, not close calls during your time while you was in, man.
Oh yeah, of course. We had a couple of them. One time we had one where on an Ford ox tank, it's under Florida, and it was the land sail was leaking, so they called away flooding, but it wasn't really a flooding. We had another time where we was at PD, and we're ventilating. So on the Trident, they have where you have a latch, and they changed it out now, but you used to have a latch, so you used to shift the latch down and it will catch, so that it will equalize pressure between the missile compartment and engine room.
Yeah.
So this person, I don't know if he was a nuke or other, was going into the engine room, and it was so loud, that somebody was about to come through. It would whistle, and you can
The
hear
whistle.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yes.
So
Yes,
he
I do.
didn't catch it. So he just opened up the door, and that watertight door blew open, sucked him through, broke the catch on the other side. That's how hard he hit it.
Jesus.
And luckily nothing really happened to him. I think he got a bump on the head because, he could have just lost everything up top. Luckily it wasn't never me, because I learned from other people's mistakes. But when I was in deck div, I had the LPO was coming down. He had something in his hand, and he fell from the missile compartment hatch with the ladder in place, the regular ladder in place, fell from the top all the way down to the bottom. Luckily, he never caught one step. He broke his ankle when he hit the deck, but he could have, because at the end of the ladder, it angles about 1 degree. So he could have caught that, and he could have broke everything. So
Count
he
him
was
lucky.
Yeah, that was
Hell yeah.
super lucky. He
Dude,
was lucky in 2 ways. He broke his ankle, and he got off the boat for a long time.
Yeah. It reminds me, bro, like you kind of brought into you segue into a story I wanted to tell for a long time that I just kept forgetting about. So when I was the gunner / lookout, on the Louisiana, and we're pulling into Hawaii, and I was going up there with the officer of the deck, and for people that don't know, the pressure on a submarine is different from the surface pressure, right? So what you're supposed to do is keep it locked, and crack it, and it'll go up. It'll go up about 2-3 inches. It'll open about that much, and it'll start equalizing pressure, right? But you're supposed to keep it locked so the top of the hatch can't swing open.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, so I popped the lock and I cracked the hatch. Hatch shot open because of the pressure, and I literally started flying up through this hatch, right, like fucking Superman. And if it wasn't for the officer of the deck right below me who grabbed my fucking ankle, it was just like hanging onto my ankle, I would have smacked the shit out of my head on the top of the damn. Yeah, dude, it would have been fucking horrible. That was an experience I will never forget.
HYA doesn't give up.
No, man. I ain't have no boat casualties, but I had them trying to help a shipmate out. Fucking, we go out. He rides with us, going downtown, and he's messed up. He's drunk, and he's doing whatever, man. So we finally catch up with him, and we chasing him around downtown Waikiki in Hawaii, man. Chasing him. So we finally catch up to the motherfucker. He's two shits to the wind, right? Gone. So he starts tripping down naked, right? So I'm like, hey man, like yo, like what? Like, hey, calm the fuck down, man. Like yo, we trying to get you back because we got a fast cruise tomorrow. We trying to hurry up and get back, man. So I come up there to grab him, not do nothing, just to say, I'm like, calm him down. This motherfucker had to do like some type of MMA, goddamn jiu-jitsu move, whatever.
This is the guy that broke your shit, huh?
Snapped my goddamn ankle, man.
Oh, no.
So he snapped my shit. So I've been on the ground. I'm like, yeah, I think my ankle was broke, man. No, man, it's not broke. Just get up. As soon as I got up, step on it, fell. I was like, yeah, broke my shit. But hey, it got me out of deployment for about 2 months, so I was cool with that.
Yeah. I've only missed one underway. One. And then the boat came back early. I was so pissed.
Oh, boy. I never missed one. I wish, everyone has that hope. Like, fuck, maybe I'll miss this deployment, But, that never happened.
Never happens.
Let's talk about halfway nights, man. So, for us, we had, in the beginning when I first got there, when I was a nub, we had this thing called Miss Louisiana nights, right? Do you know what I'm talking about at all? So, anyways, there was pictures and videos, but I'm sure they all got deleted by now. Or if they haven't been, they will never surface. So, Miss Louisiana night, we had how the runway shit with the women go down and they dress up all fuck. Anyways, on submarine back in our day, it was all guys. So Miss Louisiana night, it was guys, dressing up like chicks. You know what I'm saying? Got the wigs. Some of them even had fucking makeup and nasty shit. And it was just a bunch of jokes and stuff. It was nothing serious, but
right.
You have shit like that. Nubs would get treated a little bit less harshly on halfway night. The cooks would bring out all the kinds of good ice cream, the steaks and lobster and shit like that. That was the only time you can expect steak and lobster without having to feel a little bit of fear in the back of your mind about getting
having the time.
Yeah. Angles and dangles, we did that. I'm sure you guys done that. Have you guys done angles and dangles? Is that what you guys call it?
Angles and dangles.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think the highest we ever did was like a 34-degree angle, 35-degree. It was fucking steep as shit. We almost fell. We had this one angle that actually there's a printer and machinery room where A-Gang works, right? And we had such a steep angle, down angle, that the printer unlodged itself and went speeding down the missile department. Yeah. And it was like, it was hitting all the missile tubes and shit. It was like, papers flying everywhere. Everyone's kind of peeking around the corner like, oh shit. It was such a good time, bro. Oh man. It's stuff like that I really miss about being on submarines. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
It was, you come up with the dumbest, most craziest things to entertain yourself. And you think it's so stupid, but then when you get out and you don't have that stuff anymore, it's just like, man, I really miss it.
Creating different types of sea stories rather than those that we speak of.
Yeah.
Oh man, halfway night for me when I first got in was at that transitioning point where it was coming from severe hazing to where they would put the gross TDU water, TDU trash, TDU stuff, and make you crawl through it. Type of stuff to we're gonna put fruit and stuff like that in there rather than we're gonna blindfold you and make you think it's that nasty stuff. So, but our halfway nights was it was still just as fun, and that was the whole point of halfway night. It was to let your hair down. You used to bid on people that you really didn't care for to put them in the scullery. Or put them into the TDU room, and then people would save trash for months. The dirtiest trash, and some of the nukes, they had some real shitty trash.
Yeah, man.
Shitty.
Yeah.
So they used to save stuff, and then it will all come out. And the person who ever got TDU, goodness gracious, they'd be in there for 4 or 5 hours straight, just compacting trash. I felt
Yeah.
bad for them sometimes,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it was hilarious. The people that got put in there, but it was fun.
Yeah, man. So I know gambling in the Navy, the military is frowned upon. But we used to have a wager, especially when it came close to halfway night. And we always we played dominoes, poker, NCAA football,
Yeah,
Madden, and
poker.
shit like that. So it was me and my CS1 CS1 key.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so
He made cheap with me.
Yeah, so me and I remember. So he was my domino partner, man. So I think it was like $50 to get into the game, whatever. So we ended up winning, I think $600, whatever like that. So like, man, that shit was cool. Man. I liked it, man.
Like, he was a hustler.
Yeah.
He was a hustler. He was a gambler.
He had shit like corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob.
I think that's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic one. Pie in your face. Yeah, I think every boat had that. Every boat was unique in what they did, but every boat had something similar to it. Like corn on the cob, I know it was like universal. Yeah. Pie in the face is universal. For people that don't understand, so corn on the cob, what you would do, you would actually bet money on who can pour a can of corn. Well, for us, it was a can of corn.
Yeah.
On the
like
cob.
Creamy corn.
Creamy corn.
Cream corn.
And the cob was the chief of the boat. So corn on the cob, it kind of mixed, it is stupid shit. We didn't have a great sense of humor. So, we would get a big old can of corn, creamy corn, and pour it all over our chief of the boat, which was the cob. Yeah. And,
his job was to outbid whoever was bidding against him because, of course, he didn't want the corn poured on him. So if he outbid and won, then he gets to pour it on the person that was the next highest bid or who was bidding against him.
And I think, if I remember correctly, the funds went to the ombudsman, I think, is where it usually went.
MWR.
It went MWR, that's right. Yeah. It went to that, which, in its own turn would, fund a lot of the events that we would go to and do outside of
it was fun the things that we would do on shore when we pulled in. So, like, if we pulled into a foreign port or other than home port, we had a game. We'd buy the burgers, the buns, and stuff like that. Yeah. Or needed to buy flowers for a person's family member that passed, and it just came out of those types of funds.
So that's actually two things that you just kind of wanted me to get into. One, well, I'll ask this one later because it'll probably be a longer answer. So the one you just recently mentioned, did you know anybody that died, a submariner that died on submarines? I know there was a guy on the Kentucky up in Washington who actually got crushed by the rudder ram. I don't remember his name. To be honest, I actually went to his funeral. I didn't know his name. I didn't know him personally, but man, what a horrible fucking way to go. Dude, getting crushed. So for people that don't understand, the rudder ram is literally like a solid thing of fucking metal, like this wide. And it is a ram. It literally goes back and forth. And
hydraulically driven.
It's hydraulically driven, so there is no stopping that thing. So, from my understanding, he was down in where the Shaft Alley, and he was cleaning, and they were supposed to have the rudder ram tagged out. Or one of the rams, maybe it was, I'm not sure. It was one of the rams that should have been tagged out, but he was on the opposite end of it. And, he actually got crushed by it. Like his entire torso was just flattened, and, the corpsman, Doc, he tried to do what he could, but I mean, there's nothing you can do at that point, Yeah. So he ended up dying on that deployment, and he was a young guy, man. He was like 19, 20 years old, So I remember that. I didn't know anyone personally. I know a guy on the Louisiana that died before I got on the boat. He actually shot himself in the head. He came back from it was the usual case. He came back from the deployment and found out his lady was cheating on him. So he took his life, unfortunately. So I just wanted to know if you guys had actually experienced anything like that.
Yeah, there was a guy that I was on the ship with. he was off the boat. I don't know if he was transferring or if he was augmented or whatever, but we were trying to get in contact with him when we came back in the port. Couldn't get in contact with him, man. So come to find out, he had OD'd in his apartment. He OD'd in his apartment, and yeah, man, that was rough because he was one of those dudes that like he was weird, but he was cool with every single body on the boat. So he wasn't no outcast. He was like, I mean, he was a really popular dude, man. And when we heard that news, it kind of messed us up because he was cool, like I said, cool with everybody, man.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's hard when
It
shit
is.
like that happens. A lot of the stuff a lot of the people that do that you wouldn't ever expect. You know, Mike and I, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. It's a lot of times you would never expect it. You know.
Yeah.
I got when I first got to the Tucson in 06. There was a young Nuke. Well, not young. He was an E5. I think maybe E6. Ran across him a couple of times. I was just checking in, so I didn't really get to know him. But talking to everybody, this kid he'd give you his shirt off his back type of person. You know, if you needed help with calls, he went above and beyond, you know. And come to find out, his mother was a Master Chief. His father was like a lieutenant or something, some high-ranking officer. And he just ended up driving somewhere. He called his mother one day, and that was it. He took his life in a random spot in his car and just killed himself. It was crazy to hear the stories about the type of person he was, and for him to just do that. So it just goes to show that you just don't know. It goes to show that you need to try to pay attention to the signs, because there's always signs, you know. And if you don't pay attention to the signs, or you just blow it off, and then it's too late. One, you probably look at yourself like, what could I have done better or more? And two, you know, it's just sad that sometimes we allow our lives to get ahead of us and get us to that point.
Right.
But it was only person I knew that she passed, but that was at the SDB team. But she passed because of she had a heart attack. She was only 25.
Heart attack at 25. God.
At 25,
That's rough.
very healthy. She was all state in all her sports. She played basketball. She ran track, and just one of those things where her heart gave out on her. So it was crazy. At the SEAL team, though, that was the most funerals I ever been to.
I can imagine.
I was there 2 years, and I went to about 4 or 5 funerals.
I can imagine.
It's crazy. So one was suicide, and the others were, you know, inaction or just older SEALs that had passed. So luckily, none of that happened on board of the subs that I was on. And the other thing I thought about after I got out was, throughout my 24-year career, I never had an AM cross. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
I have AM crosses for the craziest things: deaths in the family, birth, aunts, uncles, and everything like that. And sometimes you can get off, sometimes you can't. I was so blessed that I never had one. So,
All right.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, man. I guess we've all been through some rough shit, and we've seen some rough shit in the Navy. Unfortunately, I know there's plenty of other individuals out there that have experienced stuff that don't want to talk about it, or who have talked about it and it's not known. If you guys are out there, you're watching this, we would love to have you on here. You know, it's better for you to talk about it with us on camera or off camera. It doesn't matter to us, you know, rather than you doing something drastic. We really want to, you know, we want to hear you out. As it is, I think we'll end this episode here. This again, Spencer, I think this is our, third episode now. It's as always.
Like I'm a long-winded person.
Yeah, that's good, man, because this is YouTube and we like to talk. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So it's been a pleasure for you to have on our channel, and looking forward to having you on for several more episodes.
Yeah, man.
Mike, we'll see all of you guys very soon.
Yeah, man.
The devil's gonna come when the sun goes down. The devil's gonna come.